The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Coffee Time with Blind United. So anyway, let me, Ed, of course, that's who I am. And then we got Carol. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, everyone.
And then we got Pedro this morning.
Yo, guys. Thank God it's Friday.
TGIF. So anyway, for interest groups, tonight we have a movie night, as always, every Friday night. Last week we showed, what was that, Duplicity with Julia Roberts, made 1990. And then evidently there's a brand new one out by Tyler Perry, so we're going to watch that one tonight, Tyler Perry's Duplicity. So if you want to check out the new one, and come on out, 6 o'clock tonight, Pacific time, and we'll see what this new Duplicity is all about. Get your snacks and beverages, whatever it is you need to enjoy your movie, you know what I'm saying, and come on, hang out and listen to an audio described movie with us. So that's what we got going on. Well, it is Friday. I don't know, you got any plans for the weekend, Carol?
There are two events that are going on tomorrow, so I'm kind of juggling if I want to do them both or just one. I have the NFB meeting. We normally meet the second Saturday every month. And then there's a DART paratransit meeting as well for the transportation service that I use here. So trying to juggle if I'm going to do them both. But that's all I have tomorrow, and nothing that I know of unless someone calls or offers something that they want to do with me for Sunday.
Right.
But I'll be on the movie tonight, so.
I understand, as you normally are.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Pedro? I know you and your better half always stay busy.
No, well, it's Friday, We're thinking of touching down at Knott's tomorrow. I don't know if I think it's most likely canceled. We had a birthday party. Sunday, we have to go somewhere also.
Right, you guys are going to do that beeper Easter egg thing on Sunday, right?
Oh, yes, that's correct. For those, we're doing it for the Spanish group, but anyone's welcome. It was, it might be already too late, but it's another blind group, and they get together, and they're gonna have the beeping eggs. They're gonna make breakfast. They're gonna also make burgers and fries. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they're gonna cook it over there where we're gonna be at. And it's I guess it's a cool way for blind people to get into the Easter egg hunting spirit,
Right.
with the beeping eggs. I remember a few years back we was at, I think it was 2 years ago, 2 Easters ago, we were at the Braille Institute, and they had all these beeping eggs and all that stuff. So it was nice to see the kids actually go and egg hunt and stuff like that in the Braille of over here in Los Angeles. So that was pretty nice. That was pretty dope. So we will be doing that on Sunday with this organization. We will be doing it at a park. And if you follow me on Unseen Adventures or on my Facebook, Pedro Aguilera, you will see those little clips in there.
Well, all right. Well, we'll just go ahead and jump into this first article. This is about, I don't know, Apple having too many choices, I guess. Let's check it out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, Apple's iPad keyboard confusion. Too many choices, not enough clarity? Apple is known for sleek designs and powerful technology, but when it comes to accessories for its iPad lineup, the company may be pushing the limits of variety. With the recent expansion of iPad keyboards, particularly for the new M3 iPad Air, critics and consumers alike are raising concerns about product fragmentation and growing confusion in the marketplace. Let's break it all down. More options, more headaches? Apple's introduction of a new Magic Keyboard for the M3 iPad Air, priced at $269, has added yet another choice to an already crowded lineup. This new model features function keys, a larger trackpad, a silicone exterior, compatibility with iPad Air 4, M1, and M2 models. However, it lacks backlit keys and haptic feedback, and its soft white silicone design tends to attract dirt and stains, a far cry from the aluminum finish of the Pro version. As it stands, Apple now offers 4 separate Magic Keyboard models. Magic Keyboard Folio for iPad 1011, $249. Magic Keyboard for iPad Air, $269. Magic Keyboard for older Pro and Air models, $299. Magic Keyboard for M4 iPad Pro, $299. With overlapping price points and only minor feature differences, many users are asking, why so many choices for something that should be simple? The MacBook comparison. Perhaps even more striking is how Apple's iPad pricing strategy now blurs the lines between its tablets and laptops. For example, a 13-inch M3 iPad Air with 256 GB storage plus the new Magic Keyboard costs $1,218. A 13-inch M4 MacBook Air with 256 GB storage comes in at just $999. With a steeper price tag and arguably fewer capabilities, such as desktop-class multitasking, the iPad Air bundle leaves some consumers wondering whether they're getting the best value for their money. Consumer confusion and calls for clarity. The growing number of iPad keyboards has led to widespread consumer confusion, particularly when the differences between models are so nuanced. Should you buy the Pro version for aluminum durability? Or stick with the Air version for portability and function keys? Critics argue that Apple has overcomplicated a product category that should be straightforward and user-friendly. The result? Shoppers are frustrated, unsure which keyboard is compatible with their iPad, and hesitant to invest in an accessory that may feel outdated in a year or two. A simpler solution? Tech reviewers and Apple fans alike are now urging the company to simplify its keyboard lineup. A proposed solution includes consolidating the offerings into just 2 core models: a standard version with basic typing and navigation features, a Pro version with premium materials, backlighting, and haptics. Such a move could eliminate redundant overlap, clarify compatibility, and restore confidence in Apple's accessory ecosystem. The bottom line: Apple's keyboard variety may come from a desire to offer flexibility and personalization, but it's currently creating more questions than answers. While the tech giant continues to innovate on hardware, the accessory lineup may need a little back-to-basics thinking. Do you think Apple's keyboard lineup is too complex? Would a simplified approach help consumers or limit choice? Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, that is a whole lot of keyboards for, again, I personally would, uh, uh, be confused as which one I would need for which device, but, that's why you just spend on, the knowledge of the folks that you're getting your technology from, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense, man. Just get a keyboard that works. Like you say, you got a low end model and a high end model. As long as they work, that's what matters. But Apple didn't open up that door and they just started down that road of personalization and all this other kind of stuff. And once you open that door up, then uh, you almost got to have 50 million different choices because you got 50 million people that want 50 million different things. So, hey, what do we want to call this? Does it, the success is their downfall? I mean, I don't know. So, but anyway, I don't do Macs. I mean, I do my phone. I'm not a Mac person. I'm not against Macs, but again, they can be very very confusing when you start getting into doing that stuff. So anyway, I don't know. You prefer Mac or what? What's your thing, yeah?
I mean, I don't have a computer yet, but it really did sound complicated, the article, and it did not sound cheap. I just say, keep it simple. Do it like the phones. You have the lower end version and then you have the high end version. But all of these things in between, if it's not broke, stop trying to fix it. Yes, we all do have certain things that we enjoy, tech wise, or make things a little user friendly. But if you keep adding so many things to confuse me and it's not cheap on top of that, I don't want to have to turn it back in a year later to buy something that I could have gotten the year before. So I don't know, as far as Mac versus whatever is out there, but I'm sure that you all can educate me on that once I do decide to get a computer.
Well, I mean, myself personally, just I've always done Windows. I never was actually trained on a Mac, other than my iPhone, and it's not actually the same, but you know. But on the flip side of that, I mean, yeah, $250, $300 for a keyboard. That's a lot of money for a keyboard. And then you
Yes,
got three or four different models to choose from, and if you don't get the right one, it ain't gonna work with your device. It's just that's a whole lot to play with there. So
right.
come on, Mister Apple man.
Well, just to clarify, the article was talking about Bluetooth keyboards that you could connect to your iPad or iPhone.
Right,
M-
we got that part.
specifically iPad and the iPad Air, the iPad Pro, the standard
Right.
iPad, and the iPad Mini, and they have different keyboards for all those. And and the problem that I have with this whole issue is that they don't want to even give you a backlit keyboard. I could get a cheaper keyboard that has RGB installed within the keyboard. I know that we may not use it, but to have it there, like for example, I have a Mac and a Windows. My Windows keyboard, I could press the function key, and according to my children, the keys turn to a certain color. They turn all white, and then they turn blue. The ones that have commands, and in the keys, it's a text in those keys that will tell you what's the command or a symbol, so you know what commands you have on your keyboard. They can't even give you a backlit keyboard that is a standard issue when you buy a keyboard, and they want you to pay 300, 400, or 200 for these keyboards for an iPad. And then plus, they make it so confusing that these keyboard want this keyboard right here, the magic keyboard for the M4 won't work for that iPad over there. That's an M3, and then an M2, and all these different options for what? So you can gain get more money from the buyers and stuff. Like, you can't give us a premium product without, they kind of giving us a cheap product in a way for three 300 bucks. They could go ball out with the features. They could have a volume up button, volume down. I know they got the keyboard shortcuts, but they could even give you the little bit of vibration, make it feel premium. You know what I mean? Um, but these keyboards, that's why I say you don't have to buy the Magic Keyboard. You could buy a keyboard that's from Logitech or other these companies that might even have more feature, more functionality, even a foldable keyboard, you know. Um, as long as you get what you what you're getting for, what you're paying for. And the confusion with Apple, that is true what the article is stating, that it puts off people, especially people that is not tech savvy like that, get put off by all these names, all these little options, and the differences are minor, to tell you the truth. Just like the article stated, the differences are minor differences between this model and this model. And being in our community that 70 or over percent of people are in a fixed income, shoveling out $300 for a keyboard to work with your iPad Pro that already cost you around $1,000, you know, and you could get yourself for 1,000, 2,000, or even 1,300. You could get yourself a MacBook Pro, a standard. Just for a little more, shoveling another $100, you could get yourself a MacBook Pro. You know. So I don't know. It's off-putting. It's off-putting when companies do that, and it has happened to me several times with Apple. And I have bought a MacBook Pro, in 2017, and Apple trying to make their computers extra small, extra tiny. They came up with something called a butterfly keyboard. Well, I was kind of late to the game when they were settling this lawsuit, because you can't even take off the keys to clean the keys under and then re-put them on, you know. And when dust gets under these keys, they do a triple. Sometimes when you type in, like, for example, the letter F or D will start duplicating characters when you're typing, and when you're in your work and you know that little bit, oh my god, it throws you off your work. But I'm getting off the subject. But you know these keyboards, you could find a Logitech or a different type of keyboard that comes with more features that could do a little more for cheaper price. Don't get suckered into buying something so expensive like this, so confusing at that also.
Well, I know I got a Logitech on my Windows machine, and I love it. I spend less than $50 for it, and it does everything I want it to do.
Mm.
So I'm not into spending all that kind of money. Like you said, all this stuff is already too expensive, and now you want to tack on another $200-300 for a specialty keyboard. And then as the article pointed out, in one combination there for the iPad and the keyboard or whatever, you paying $12.50, and you go get a MacBook for $900.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, you come out cheaper with the MacBook, but then
Mhm.
me with my big old fingers, I wouldn't be able to do the MacBook because I would still need a keyboard.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and some of these keyboards just have, like, okay, the basic standard functions of a keyboard is kind of missing the backlit. Everybody needs to look at the keys and see what color, I mean, what key it is, right? That's like a standard. Well, the special feature some of these keyboard has, like the one for the iPad Pro, is that the iPad fits in it, and then it will connect automatically with this little uh sensor it has, right? So it can charge your iPad and little stuff like that. Not too many features. It just connects automatically, just like how you will turn on your Bluetooth keyboard.
it's
And
basically like putting a screen on your laptop. I mean, or
Mhm.
whatever. It's like you say, it's a stand with the keyboard, and you set the iPad there. That way, you got your screen while you're typing. You're looking right at your screen. That's you
Yeah,
know.
and
If
let's
it
think
didn't have
about it.
that, before they had that, if you remember, they had the little
Hmm.
kickstand that you could pull out in the back and make it stand up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's more like for visual people, or you need to tap the screen. So you
Right,
might
I
want to
get
set
that.
your
Well,
phone
even that
down.
stand, what you talking about now, is more for
Hmm.
visual people. Ain't nobody looking at the screen.
Hmm.
If I can take this keyboard and walk on the other side of the room with it while the iPad is sitting on the desk, well, I can do that with my Logitech right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I mean, again, it just doesn't make sense. Like you say, it's just another ploy to try to get more and more money out of people. You got to have this keyboard for this device, that keyboard for that device. so on and so forth. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So maybe that's one of the things they need to cut out, since they're going to be in the need of starting to save some money with all these tariffs and stuff and they hit their butt.
Right.
There might be some equipment they don't need to import, right? So anyway, we got God First say good morning, and Monica said the movie we watching tonight is great. I guess you and her watched it a week or so ago, so we'll be checking out that again tonight. Tyler Perry's Duplicity. So anyway, let's get into these promos and we'll jump into the next article. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Do you need to talk? Are you struggling with your mental health? Are you struggling with substance abuse issues? Call the Orange County NAMI Warm Line. That number is 877-910-9276. That number again is 877-910-9276.
All right. Well, that ain't your fault, Monica. Anyway, so this next article is about not for our community, but again, maybe hopefully they'll come up with something one day that'll actually really help our community.
Hold on there. What did Monica say in the comment?
She apologizes for you rambling because you drank coffee this morning. That's basically what she's doing. These wheelchairs, pretty cool wheelchairs, check it out. We'll talk about it on the other side. We have plenty of time.
Today on Coffee Time, Cutting Edge Mobility, how new assistive technologies are enhancing independence. In the evolving landscape of accessibility and inclusion, assistive technology continues to play a transformative role. Recent innovations in mobility solutions are redefining independence for individuals with disabilities. From intelligent electric wheelchairs to vehicle accessibility upgrades, today's tech is all about comfort, convenience, and control. Let's take a closer look at three standout advancements: the Robooter X40, the Robooter E-Series, and the BraunAbility E-Series. Robooter X40, the smart, foldable power wheelchair. Imagine a wheelchair that turns effortlessly in place, folds itself at the touch of a button, and connects to your smartphone. That's exactly what the Robooter X40 delivers. This foldable power wheelchair combines smart engineering with user-friendly design to provide maximum mobility both indoors and out. Key features include omnidirectional wheels, navigate tight corners and crowded areas with a zero turning radius. Automatic folding, easily collapses for transport or storage, hands-free. Dual suspension system, smooth rides across bumpy or uneven terrain. Mobile app integration, adjust speed, monitor battery levels, and even control movement via Bluetooth. Ergonomic comfort, a wider seat cushion and supportive backrest ensure long-lasting comfort. Removable battery, convenient charging without having to move the whole chair. Together, these features offer a seamless experience that prioritizes autonomy and adaptability. Robooter E-Series, mobility that moves with you. Taking things a step further, The Robooter E-Series builds on the X40's smart design while offering models for different needs and environments. E40, perfect for indoor and semi-outdoor settings with the same smooth maneuvering and compact frame as the X40. E60 and E60 Pro. These models step up with larger 10 and 12-inch wheels and shock-absorbing springs for tougher terrain. Two-step folding system, ideal for on-the-go lifestyles, easily fitting into most car trunks. Whether navigating a shopping mall or rolling through a park, the E-Series adapts to your surroundings with confidence and comfort. BraunAbility E-Series, making vehicles accessible and safe. Mobility doesn't end at the curb, and that's where the BraunAbility E-Series comes in. This advanced lift system is designed to enhance accessibility in vehicles for wheelchair users. Standout features include folding platform lift, horizontally folds away for compact storage, especially in vehicles with low ceilings. Low threshold entry, easier access with less effort and reduced fall risk. Non-slip surface, prioritizing safety during transitions. Universal installation kit, compatible with a wide range of vehicle models, making the system both practical and versatile. With the BraunAbility E-Series, everyday travel becomes easier, safer, and more accessible for individuals using wheelchairs. The future of mobility is here. These advancements signal a powerful shift in assistive technology, from functional support to truly empowering solutions that support independence in all areas of life. Whether you're commuting, running errands, or simply exploring, these tools are designed to adapt to your needs, not the other way around. What do you think about these innovations in mobility? Are these tools the future of accessible independence? Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, they got some great options now. I mean, some of this almost sounds like it could be more on the scooter level than a wheelchair, but they're calling it a wheelchair, so we'll roll with that part of it. But I mean, I guess, being able to have all the smart features in it is a plus, especially in today's world. Why not, right? But again, I do know people within our community that, are blind as well as being in wheelchairs. And man, I'd love to see them come out with a chair that's, I don't know, maybe it's got the thing, some kind of thing on it like Glide has on it, where you can just dial in where you want to go and the chair just take you there. I don't know. Something to help these folks, because a lot of times they get left out when we're going out to do things because, I mean, I'm blind. How can I push you and you're blind? We can't neither one of us see where we're going, and I can't feel where we're going until you fall off the curb or something. So, or hit a wall or whatever, you don't want to be my bumper, right? So, I just think it'd be cool if they had a chair they could use, but for everybody else, I'm happy. I mean, a lot of older folks are, getting into where they per se want the scooter, chair, whatever. And I mean, I get it. You get old, your bones get beat up, you wore out, you're tired, you want to sit down and just make it happen, right? So they got some great options out in front of them. So anyway, what you think about all this, girl?
I do think it's great, that they're coming up with some different options. Curious to know how much they cost. I did never hear them mention that. And I know, with a lot of them, the insurance will cover some of it, if not all of it, just depending on what you may have. But it will allow them, if it folds up, to do a little bit more traveling in vehicles and things of that sort. I have ridden in vehicles to where the chair is just too big, it won't fit. And they have to either have a bus, a van, or some other type of transportation that can accommodate that motorized chair. So I think it's pretty neat. And maybe in the future, they will have something similar to the Glide where it will be able to navigate certain areas without, you know, being pushed, because you're right, it is a lot of people that are blind and they're in wheelchairs, and I can't guide them either because neither one of us can see, and I don't want them to run over my foot. That hurts.
Well, they ain't gonna run on my foot if I'm pushing them. But
Right.
I just don't want to push them into a bunch of stuff, you know.
Of course.
I mean,
Of
I
course.
guess one of the great features of what they're talking about in here is, for many years, as I see it anyway, the actual motorized wheelchair, they were not foldable. It ain't like you could, transfer this person into the car and then fold that chair and put it in the trunk. So that's part of what they were talking about here,
Right.
Some of the bigger models, the more all terrain models, of course, you ain't gonna do all that, but they had the equipment to get them into your van and all that stuff, ramps and all that stuff. So anyway, what you got on these chairs, Pedro?
Yeah, whatever technology uh, puts a forward foot, no type of pun intended, but for these people that may need the wheelchair access, the technology that you're able to see how much battery you have, you are able to charge it without needing it to move the whole chair. Most likely, take out the battery and boom, charge it up. Um, the access to fold it up and put it in the car, even better for someone that has a partner and things like that. And it seems like this might be nice for a new type of sport, like wheelchair racing and stuff. But that aside, it's like the access part of it is a plus, and trying to compare that technology and trying to put it within our community to see how can we use it. That would be nice. What Ed said, that if we had a system like um the glide. I don't know why they could not. I know the price range is going to really go up, and with these new tariffs and trying to import all these parts, oh my god, you know it kind of sucks because I have a couple friends that do have wheelchairs, and they're on their wheelchairs, and I know me sometimes pushing them. I don't want to bump into nothing. I know one person that well, she has sight, but pushing them, and they're turning a little left, a little right, and stuff like that. But now being completely blind and being in a chair, that could be really tough because if we're both
Right.
blind, it will be hard to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe having a system like that, kind of like a brake type system like the glide has, they might not need to incorporate too much technologies, like more motors, like the brake system kind of brakes and starts turning to where you need to go while the
Right.
person pushes the lever, or someone pushes the person with their force. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't be so costly if they implement it a certain way.
I mean, like you said, if it was, like the glide, then okay, yeah, then I could push it because it would steer us. But,
Mm-hmm.
if it was fully motorized, well, then, like you said, then now it's self propelled, but it's still got the technology that's going to steer it
Mm-hmm.
around obstacles and to a specific location.
But think of what you just said. Yeah. Just like how they have a radio motor and there you just push the lever and it just uses the brake left and right to navigate. Imagine that type of system going to a regular wheelchair that doesn't need a motor to propel itself. The person could push themselves, or someone could push the wheelchair and the brake will,
Well,
navigate it.
then I guess that's what I was saying. If we had the glide system of steering without the propulsion, then either that person or somebody could push them and it would steer. You know, or for those that don't have the ability to actually roll their own wheelchair, you give it to them in a full service model where they just push the button and the chair just goes where it wants to go. But instead of the little toggle switch, like on a regular motorized chair, they got a little directional thing or whatever. This one, you don't need it. Why you need all that? Just hit the button. As long as you got the direction programmed in where you want to go. Something, but again, I'm just trying to think out loud for folks in our community. I mean, like I said, we got one very dear friend. She's partial, but she don't really have enough to really, keep up with. If I was pushing her, she couldn't give me commands fast enough.
Right.
It would just no. And plus, she's we love her dearly, but she's very brittle. We bump her into something, she liable to break her whole foot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we can't afford to do her that way. Sweetheart lady, but again, and she makes it her way out. She comes out. She hangs out. Sometimes she's in a wheelchair. Sometimes she's in her walker where she can sit in her walker. But she loves to come and hang out. So, but anything to try to make it easier on people that have these disabilities and stuff. So I mean, I guess that's the whole point of even doing this article about wheelchairs, right? It's making it easier and more accessible, more independent for the people that can use their product. So hey, I hope they get it together. So, but anyway, man, let's go ahead and knock out these couple more promos here, and then we'll get this last article done.
You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
Hustling jingles, $10 a shot. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
All right. Well, just remember, you guys, we got the perfect gift regardless of the occasion: birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, Hanukkah, whatever. It doesn't matter. We got the perfect gift. It only costs you $10, and it'll make a lasting impression on the person you give it to. So anyway, this next one is a little crazy, especially with all this global warming and stuff going on. Well, let's hear the article, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, weather warning NOAA budget cuts spark concerns over forecast accuracy and public safety. The skies might be clear today, but storm clouds are gathering over one of the nation's most vital forecasting agencies. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, recently came under fire for considering a pause in maintenance on its critical weather satellites due to budget uncertainty. While the agency has since reversed its decision, the underlying financial and staffing challenges raise serious concerns about the future of accurate, timely weather forecasting. Let's take a closer look at what's going on and why it matters. A close call with satellite downtime. At the center of the controversy was the Joint Polar Satellite System, JPSS, a network of satellites essential for weather prediction, climate monitoring, and storm tracking. In a March 28 internal memo, NOAA proposed shifting to a minimum mission operations approach, which would have delayed routine maintenance, including crucial software updates. Public backlash and internal debate prompted a quick reversal. NOAA renewed its maintenance contract and assured the public that no changes would be made to satellite operations. For now, the JPSS remains fully operational. But while the satellites will continue humming above us, the agency's troubles are far from over. A workforce under pressure. Even as satellite systems stay afloat, NOAA's workforce is shrinking. The agency has laid off approximately 800 probationary employees, with cuts affecting multiple departments, including the National Weather Service, NWS. These staffing losses have already had visible effects. Monthly climate updates for the U.S. and the world have been suspended. Weather balloon launches, a key tool for collecting upper atmosphere data, have been disrupted. Approximately 800 probationary employees, with cuts affecting multiple departments, including the National Weather Service, NWS. These data gaps may seem small, but they can snowball into major forecasting inaccuracies. What's at stake? Former NOAA officials and meteorologists are sounding the alarm. They warn that continued budget cuts and staff reductions could reduce the accuracy of daily forecasts, delay life-saving storm warnings during hurricanes, tornadoes, or severe thunderstorms, impact industries that depend on weather data like aviation, agriculture, shipping, and emergency response. Accurate forecasts don't just help you decide whether to bring an umbrella, they're a crucial public safety tool. The bigger picture, a call for sustained investment. While the immediate threat to satellite maintenance has been resolved, the broader issue remains. Can NOAA continue to do its job with fewer people and fewer resources? In a time of increasing climate volatility, from record heat waves to more frequent severe storms, the need for reliable weather infrastructure has never been greater. Yet, the financial instability facing NOAA is undermining the very systems designed to keep us informed and protected. Policymakers are being urged to view funding for NOAA not as a luxury, but as a core public service on par with road safety or emergency medical care. Weathering the storm ahead. The challenges facing NOAA are a sobering reminder of how easily critical systems can be strained by budgetary pressure. Accurate forecasting isn't just about technology, it's about trained professionals, ongoing support, and public trust. Have you noticed gaps in your local forecasts or delays in severe weather alerts? What role do you think government investment should play in maintaining our weather infrastructure? Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, like I said, when we were first getting started, I mean, with global warming, the way this weather changes, we need to stay on top of it. I mean, again, these budget cuts, man, they okay, now we're talking about infrastructure. I mean, this is not the first infrastructure thing that's been attacked, right? Because now it's the weather, but what was happening before? Air traffic controller. That's part of our infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? That's how we keep our planes safe. Now, planes got a double dip of danger because now we got, with the air traffic controllers, now you can't rely on the weather data that you're getting. You might be flying right into a storm, all this other kind of crazy stuff, man. So, I mean, I just hope they can keep it up and running, with the cuts. Like they say, less people, less resources. At least they are able to take care of the maintenance on the satellites. We definitely don't need them falling out the sky, right? Or Musk might be happy to just make more room for more of his satellites up there. But but anyway, I'm being sarcastic with that one. But yeah, no, I think they need to do everything they can to maintain this. It's public safety, and as the weather, global warming, whatever gets worse, we're going to depend on it more and more. I mean, the more time you can give people in the path of a tornado or a hurricane, the more time you can give them to prepare and possibly, end up leaving their place. The better off it is. The more people you can get to safety before that thing comes through. So again, I believe they need to do what they can. It should be some emergency legislation, if nothing else, to try to give these people their funding back, as well as the FAA and air traffic controllers. So, but anyway, that's my take on it, Carol.
I mean, with me, the same. It's just scary to think that this is our future. They really do, hands off of all of these things that we need to save our lives. I think about my mom, my grandfather, and now me, relying on my body to tell me when it's going to rain. I couldn't figure out why my shoulder was hurting a couple of weeks ago. And I had, a broken collarbone for a few years back. And I'm like, why is my shoulder bothering me? Not realizing, boom, 2 days later, and it wasn't even announced. It started raining, and it's like my body just lets me know now when bad weather is coming about, but it's not going to tell me there's a tornado or there's a bunch of rain that's going to lead to a flood. But the fact of the matter is that they need to do something to protect us so that we can stay safe, or at least have a little time to get out of an area if some storm is coming that's going to take our lives possibly.
I agree. I agree. The stuff is getting worse and worse, and we need more and more protection from it. We need more and more advanced warning about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to be. Oh, I'm running through the comments too. So
Well, yeah. Well, I'll give you my take while you're doing that, Ed. Um, well, look, it's like having a car owner, a car driver, saying, you know what? I don't need my side mirrors. I don't need my other side mirror. I don't need my rear view. You know what? The gas gauge? Let's just sell that. Let's just get rid of that. I don't need a gas gauge. You know? Oh, my thermostat? You know what? We don't need a thermostat in the car. Or I don't need this valve. You know? I don't think I need that. And then still trying to drive the car at 100%.
I mean,
Trying to
I
make
get
a left turn. You
I get
know?
your analogy. It's stupid. We need these things to be in place. I
Right.
mean, and it sounds just as stupid as Pedro was saying. Oh well, we don't need a thermostat. Well, how the hell you gonna know if the car get hot?
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
We don't need this
well,
nuclear
When it starts
watchers of these
smoking, it's
weapons.
too late.
I mean, again, you firing these air traffic controllers. How in the hell you gonna know when the plane
Land the
is coming
plane.
in? You know,
Hmm.
who's watching the monitors? You know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna take the weather part away, and like I said, what they gonna do? Fly right into the eye of a hurricane?
Mm.
Come on, man. I mean, they got to rely on nothing but what they visually see. 9 times out of 10, by the time they fly into a storm, it's too late.
It's too late.
You
Well,
know,
yeah, and it's funny because they want to hold us to that standard. Believe what your eyes tell you, right? But half of the time, the president doesn't even believe what he sees. He makes it up as he goes. You know what I
uh,
mean?
he
And he's like,
makes it up
"Oops,
as he goes.
yeah," and then he's like, "Oops, I'm just trying to oh my God, like what happened this last time with all these tariffs and all that, and then you have the leader of the most powerful country. coughing 3 days in a row just because
Mm.
of his ego. And then he's like, "Well, I don't care. I don't care. People lost their retirement. I don't care." And then you hear the right wing media put in, "Well, he's a tough man. He has to get it done. He has to," trying to cover for him for the market crashing over 80,000 jobs lost, for prices going up. The eggs hasn't come down. The gas prices hasn't come down. I don't see
Ain't
a
nothing
fat check
coming
in
down.
my pocket. I don't see nothing. Everything's
Ain't
getting
nothing
more
coming down.
expensive.
So anyway, right quick, Tisha said good morning. It's Friday. Good morning, Tisha. And then we got Delia Garcia said good morning. So good morning to you, Delia. So, but
Hey, she's a great supporter. Thank you for liking our content, Delia Garcia. Shout out to you. I'll be seeing it. I'll be seeing it on
all
Facebook.
right, we appreciate you, sweetie. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, no, this is again, this is just crazy, man. I mean, just doing all kind of stupid stuff that doesn't make any sense. I mean, no matter how much we try not to, jump in the pool with this fool. I mean, he just makes it harder and harder and harder. I mean, just again, the other day, how can you tell me that this was not a setup? You're going to get up right after the market's open. You're going to put out a tweet, whatever you do, whether it was Twitter or X or
It's none of
True
those.
Social, whichever
There you
one it
go.
was, he put it on, great time to buy, with three
Mm-mm.
exclamation points. With three exclamation, I actually think that there was the exclamation points was a signal that I am going to announce that I'm going to reverse these tariffs in 3 hours. You got 3 hours to buy all the cheap stock you can buy. Because
Hmm.
once I announce that I'm rolling back these tariffs, guess what? There's going to be reaction in the
Yes, sir.
market. All the prices on all this stuff is going to go up. People are going to make millions, if not billions, of dollars within a matter of hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
and the evidence is there. And one question that keeps coming up: what's going to happen? Are there going to be any investigations? Well, he put his people in place. You think there's going to be investigations? He got away with going to jail. You think there's going to be any prosecutions coming? You think there's going to be any impeachments coming where they control the Senate, the House, and the executive branch, and
well,
everybody?
the only thing that is saving us, Pedro, is there are some Republicans that are really tired of his boo boo at this point
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
starting to speak up. I mean, that's not going to say that we just got, a guaranteed win on some of this stuff, but we do have some people that are standing up and they're voicing their opinions, and then
Yeah.
they also, siding with folks as far as the ones that are ready to come after him for this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even the Supreme Court, they gave him a pause on bringing that young man home back to Maryland or wherever it was, wherever he's from, Delaware, whatever it was. So they talking about he's a Venezuelan gang member when he specifically had orders not to send him to Guatemala to El Salvador. And that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly where you send him. Well, they gave him a pause while they reviewed the case. But once they got through with the case, they said, no, partner, you got to bring that man back.
Mm.
I don't care how you do it. You got to bring him back. Again, you can't keep denying these people their due process. All this stuff, you are not a dictator. You are
I
not
know.
a king.
But
You,
he's using the look. This is what he kind of does, and this administration is doing. They use the easiest throwback. Well, I don't have jurisdiction over there. That's Salvador already over there. I'm an American president, or I'm American. Uh, you know, uh, you're in America. Even he told the judge, "Well, I don't think you got jurisdiction over there to bring him back." So that's a slap to our law system, our court system, our American way, our foundation. He's spitting on our American ways. I don't know how some people do not see it. When he is going against the court, he's moving like a criminal, like a mob boss.
Well, I mean, I hear you, but again,
Hmm.
these people were arrested, so therefore they were under the jurisdiction of the United States. And the bottom line, we are taxpayers are paying El Salvador to house these people. So, I mean, bottom line, we still got rights to them people. There ain't no way in the world you can tell me we can send somebody down there and can't bring them back.
Right.
You can't tell me that. And if that's the case, well, then number one, we need to go down there and get everybody
Hmm.
And they'll
by
extradite
whatever
them right
means,
back.
by whatever means necessary. And then bottom line, we cancel that contract. If we want to send them out of the country to go to another prison, then we got to have somebody that's going to be willing to work with us, not against us. Especially when it comes to, again, this young man had all of his ducks in a row. All of his stuff was in a row. He got out of Venezuela because they kept threatening to put it to about the gang, and they were threatening harm to his family. That's why he was sent to America, right? Then all of that stuff was established in court, right? And bottom line, he was knowing that all the gang has El Salvador, I guess the MS-13, whatever it is, whatever, they specifically said that he would never be sent to El Salvador, and then here he is. I mean, I just hope the young man is still alive when they bring him back. Now, as to
Right.
whether he was actually a MS-13 member, I don't know. But that's why we have due process. Take this man in front of the court, you present your evidence. What do you have that says that this young man, whatever, is an active, MS-13 member? Bring it up in court. Prove it in court. If you can't prove it, then it's just hearsay. So it's just wrong. And anybody that's within our borders, whether they came in, legally or illegally, the fact is that they're here. And as long as they're here, the Constitution affords them the ability to have due process.
Right.
And
Hmm.
we should give each and every one of them due process.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And what do you think about Elon Musk not agreeing with the tariffs now? Now I think he's in the other boat. They're they throwing back poop back and forth with Peter Thiel or Peter Navarro, I forgot his name and
well,
stuff.
I mean, bottom line, he wasn't with the tariffs from day one. I mean, how would somebody that builds their cars here but has all of their parts imported be cool with tariffs? That don't make any sense, you know. And that's his thing right now. Once especially from China, you realize how much actual business that Elon Musk does in China. Okay, not only does he have battery plants over there, he's got parts plants and stuff over there. So he's making batteries and all kind of different stuff in China. Now he's paying an extra what 125%
Hey
tariff.
Ed, hey Ed, he voted for that. We didn't. He voted for that, so he should take the brunt of that.
Well, I mean, I hear that, but
You
again,
know,
but
I'm just joking.
no,
Sorry.
I mean, I got what you're saying. He was very influential in getting this man into office, and the man said from day one he was going to be putting these tariffs on people. So, the thing about Trump is when you hear Trump say it that he's going to do something, trust
He
and
gonna
believe
do
he's
it.
going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary. He don't care if he has to break the law to do it. He's going to do it. You know. So, but again, I mean, even I just read a thing this morning where GM, they say, you know what, we ain't playing your game. We worried about more the global market. You wanted to nationalize everything. We sell a lot of cars over in these other countries, so whatever, dude. You know, and
Good for
and
them.
some of these other ones, Dodge and Ford, they're gonna have to follow that same thing because their products are being sold on a global market.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to play the global market game. They can't just play, but Trump is not going to bring these manufacturing back to America. He's not going to bring them jobs back to America. Okay? It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. He might create a specialty market where they
We
try
don't
to
have
do that.
the infrastructure like that, though. You know what I mean? There ain't no
Right.
factory set up to bring all that back. So
But
it's a lie. He's
again,
known for lying.
he can try to revitalize the Made in America brand thing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot more expensive. It might be a better quality product. A lot of times it was, but it was definitely a lot more expensive just to say that it was made in America. So it's crazy. It's 10:01. We over our due time. So, but anyway, thank you for everybody for coming in. Carol, Pedro, for joining me, helping me out here with this. Be my loyal counterparts in this. Tisha and God First and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That comes in and comments. Monica, Delia, thank you for popping in as well. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, comment. Whatever you can do on whatever platform you're on, please do it. It really does help. We appreciate it. Don't forget we're watching Tyler Player's Duplicity tonight at 6 p.m. So come join us on Blind United District Group for that. And then enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.